What's going on, boys? Today we are talking MBTI mistypes, the big three, and my guesses on why the big three are the big three. Before we get into those, let's cover some basics. We are not going to be discussing technical mistypes today. People who mistype themselves or are mistyped based on technical cognitive function knowledge. That is a completely different beast and mindset. Those mistypes are chronic misunderstandings of the cognitive functions, and it's why these mistypes are constantly mistyping themselves, getting things wrong over and over again, rather than just picking one and sticking with it and being wrong. The big three mistypes are the mistypes you get from people who don't understand anything about typology at all, aside from the absolute basics, not even getting into cognitive functions, and they probably hold a dismissive opinion of typology, while using typology at a very superficial level to bolster what they think is their identity, or the way they want to be seen. And that is a perfect place to start because the first and most common mistype is INTJ. The popular conception of the INTJ is this very intelligent, cold, effective, and mysterious person. So the people you're going to see calling themselves INTJs, aside from INTPs who think they are too cool to be INTPs, and ENTJs who are fucked up enough not to feel extroverted, are going to be the people with this Thomas Shelby-esque image of themselves, even though Thomas Shelby isn't an INTJ. Again, fundamental misunderstanding of typology. This is all about image. That's how these big mistypes work. And that's not exactly a bad thing, because depending on which type this individual you're dealing with mistypes themselves as indicates a lot about the person you're dealing with. Perhaps even more on a practical level than their actual type would. The person who calls themselves an INTJ based on this image is going to be annoying, difficult to work with, badly wanting to come off as more unique and more intelligent than they are. You're going to hear quotes about statistics and how INTJs are the rarest type, the most intelligent type, and other I am very smart shit. And what's interesting about the INTJ mistype compared to every other mistype, including in the big three, is almost every type is going to call themselves an INTJ, or try to. The quiet, mysterious mastermind image is popular in culture, and that's why you're going to see it so much, I think. Now, the next major mistype is similar but a bit different. Similar sort of appeal, and attracts a similar sort of person, but played out in a different way and toward different ends. ENTPs. It's the exact same sort of I am very smart shit, except instead of finding the mysterious mastermind image appealing, they find the contentious but intelligent dick archetype appealing. And believe it or not, even on tests, many ESTJs mistype as ENTPs for that reason. They like feeling like this, or the image of the intelligent person who can out-debate anyone. And looking at cognitive functions, that makes sense. They have Nemesis TI. They want to feel like they can prove themselves right in any circumstance. But they take the ENTP image to bolster that instead of figuring out what they actually are. And you're going to see a ton of ENFPs calling themselves ENTPs. I know I got ENFP on this test, but that must be wrong because I feel like I'm really smart, even though I'm not going to investigate this any further to determine why the answer I got might be correct, and maybe in the process learn why the letter T, thinker, doesn't equal intelligent or capable. So I'll just swap the letter and hope nobody finds out, which they can't because I don't believe in this. You're also going to get a bunch of drama kids. There is not really a nicer or less demeaning way to put that. As Uncle Iroh would say, the sort of fellow who act crazy but stop up the moment an actual crazy fellow pull up. On that same note, I've actually found quite a few ENTJs who consider themselves ENTPs for this reason. And while INTJ mistypes are annoying in concept, I've found ENTP mistypes are much more annoying in practice because they are in love with this idea of being someone who doesn't shut up and is trying to burn everybody. Very annoying. Especially considering actual ENTPs are few in number, and while they do have this image for a reason, most of them tend to be chill. Actual ENTPs tend to be chill. So all these popular mistypes, in the same way as INTJs, ENTPs, and the next one we'll get to, they're almost making these negative stereotypes about these types worse than they already are. Another funny thing to note is popular mistypes are almost never censors, because the popular idea of typology, S is for stupid, and I'm not stupid. I'm smart. Therefore, I'm an intuitive, and probably a thinker, and probably a judger. Because I am smart, and I'm capable. But I am never extroverted for some reason. That's one of the things that always confuses me. Why in popular thinking, ENTJs are not as popular as they should be in theory. I think it's because ENTPs exist. You are either the mysterious but capable mastermind, the INTJ, or you are the loud, smart asshole ENTP. ENTJs fall between the cracks, INTPs aren't cool. So, what sort of freak chooses to mistype themselves as a feeler based on their own image of themselves? Well, of course, it's one of the most prolific mistypes because there is only one real mistype for this sort of person, the INFJ. I've found this mistype serves as a catch-all port for people who, in a contrarian way, get off on imagining themselves or accepting themselves as feelers. But they are too realistic and hard to be silly little perceivers. And these mostly are FI types across the spectrum. So, of course, you have the FPs, the INFPs, and the ENFPs. You also have the SFPs, who view themselves as hardcore feelers, but they need to attach the N to themselves to feel smart. And why not ENFJ? Probably for the same reason people mistype themselves as INTJs, that mysteriousness factor. And ironically, I've encountered a fair number of INTJs who mistype themselves as INFJs. In the exact same way the FPs do. Fuck you, I'm really emotional. And they have tertiary FI, FPs have dominant or auxiliary FI, but it's a fundamental misunderstanding of typology and the type based on most often a contrarian image. That's one of the reasons so many quotes INFJs you encounter are going to be very forward and aggressive and argumentative in a way that makes you wonder, is that FE? That seems a lot like FI, particularly the way they're phrasing themselves and forming their arguments. That doesn't seem like TI through FE. That just seems like straight up FI with some TE thrown in there. And it seems that way because that's what's going on. And I think that's one of the reasons there is a general distaste for INFJs, or what people think are INFJs, because that classification has been hijacked to serve a vague fuck you ego image. Remember, these people are using letters. There's a reason INFPs weren't chosen as this popular mistype. That J is real important. Not to mention, of course, the statistics. INFJs are the rarest type. You're going to hear that a lot. In the same way you're going to hear INTJs are the rarest type. But it's primarily FI types mistyping as INFJs. It's so odd to me. You are almost always going to see those three types in a basic mistype. It's kinda like INTJ and ENTP represent popular Western archetypes of values, and INFJ serves as an aggressive, equally aggressive foil. Remember, counter anything is the primary thing. It's a shadow of it. It's not gotten away from it. But anyway, those are the three big mistypes you are always going to see by people who don't understand typology, don't care to understand typology, are dismissive of typology, are probably going to mock you for being interested in typology, yet while feeling the need to use this system they don't believe in to prop up an image of themselves. And what I think is going on and why, loosely. But that about rippity wraps this one up. I hope you enjoyed watching, because I certainly enjoyed making it. Like if you enjoyed, because it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you haven't, because we do this shit sometimes. And comment your thoughts, because I love hearing from you. What are your thoughts on mistypes? Any other common mistypes, or theories on why these mistypes happen? Let me know. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Really, really a lot of fun on this channel. So much fun, in fact, you can mislabel it and represent yourself with it, because that's a lot of fun. And that's how much fun we have on this channel, and I look forward to doing this with you guys again in the future.